Now here we are at Edward Eagle Lodge, and I'm very pleased to be joined by Vanessa who heads up so much of the operation that happens here. How long have you worked for us?
I've been with Wesley for 5 years now.
And do you enjoy it?
I love it. I love the diversity, I love the action, I love the people that we get to meet. One day is never the same.
I like the word, the action.
Yes.
That's because it's unpredictable, is it?
Yeah, and it's 1 minute it could be really nice and calm, the next minute you're doing building relationships or conflict resolution, and then there's paperwork in the afternoon, so it's really quite nice.
And when you talk about people's coming into this place, many are coming in, aren't they? The word crisis is a fair description of how it feels for them.
Yeah, and I think it's a fair word to use. I think they come with different traumatic backgrounds. They come with lots of experiences that haven't worked, so disillusioned, discouraged, and I think they're grieving a lot when they walk through the door. So it's really quite nice to be able to have the opportunity to support them while they're going through that.
And so the Christian mission for us is really getting alongside people
Yeah.
in that situation.
Yeah, and really not imposing our way of thinking, but seeing what they want, where they want to go, and just supporting them in that journey.
And the reality is also we have men and women here. I always try to tell that part of the story because people often think about men's refuges, and we know the problems of homelessness is as much likely to happen to a woman as to a man.
Yeah, exactly.
And in some situations probably more so if you've got children and family and you're escaping domestic violence and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and it's nice to be able to have that diversity. It presents a few issues, but it's also nice to be able to have that safe environment for women and also the safe environment for the men.
How important is it to be in the city centre?
I think it's really important to be in the city centre. It creates a lot of opportunity for our residents to access public transport, to go and visit tenancies. Their employment services are usually local, but it also gives them an opportunity to do some social activities. So they have set tasks to do, I guess, but they also have an opportunity to balance that with some social and leisure time.
And many of them would never live in the city centre because this is humongous to pay for apartments in the areas that we're talking about. Now, we talk about this as being crisis accommodation. Tell me what your hope is for people who come into this centre.
It's a good question. I think my hope is to be able to hear what each person wants when they come in and then be able to provide that support. So whether that be they want to look at employment or they want to look at counselling or they just need a safe house, what they need is actually what we want to offer.
And eventually the hope is that these people will find independence of living. Yes. and find, look, that's great. Now, we talk about joined up thinking and practice at Wesley Mission, and I suppose that really is a little bit like the wraparound services. We try to do more, don't we? Yeah. For example, what sort of things are offered here?
So we have case management services that are offered, but we've also just started to work with a primary health care service. Mental health counsellors come in twice a week. We've got gambling and financial counsellors that come in on a weekly basis. We've got the legal service that comes in, and they're all local services. So really trying to get the community to support the community.
And important that many of those are available here rather than to have to face the confrontation of the going to see somebody.
Yeah, and I think some people have the capacity to do that, but others don't have the capacity, especially the first-time homeless people. They don't know what to do. So we have opportunity for them to actually get the services in-house.
Vanessa, thank you to you and the staff here. We're just delighted to come out and see what the mission is doing in various settings. So I'm delighted that we've been able to visit here at Wesley's Edward Eagle Lodge.